Welcome back, Zombie Slayers, to part 3 of my solo high round strategy guide for Verruckt. And we're kicking it off here in the Black Ops version of this map, and just running this circuit that we start next to the SDG in the bathroom area. And initially, you just want to run a very slow circuit of the map to gather up the zombies trained behind you, and then you take them down. At this point we can use our regular weapons. Once we get to the double tap area, that's the area that you want to start killing them from. I've got the ray gun and the Winter's Howl, so I'm pretty much in the ideal situation as far as weaponry goes for this level of the game that we're at. I didn't take out too many there, but I'm going to still have a few spawning in, so what I'm going to do is take another lap of the map here. By then I'll have all 24 zombies from the wave grouped up in the train behind me, so what I'll do at that point is I'll probably whip out the Winter's Howl and use that to take out the whole group. Just have to be careful there, nearly got blocked off by that guy. You just have to be very wary of what's coming from in front of you and the zombies that'll be jumping in the windows as you're making this circuit of the map. And I do tend to sprint up those stairs, but most of the time it's just a slow walk. So I'm still going to use the ray gun here. It's pretty effective in taking the zombies down. And I'm just playing it safe here. So we'll keep on running this circuit. That was very, very close. I nearly did myself some real damage with the ray gun. But we did get through there, and as I said before, these earlier rounds up until about round 20-25 is the time where you're going to have the most problems from zombies spawning in front of you and blocking you off. So you just want to be very, very careful. But later on, the good news is it just gets easier and easier the higher that you go. Once you get past 35, it's going to be the same every wave thereafter, and that's going to be super easy if you follow this strategy. And we're going to drop down there. It's a carpenter, so I'm not going to be using that because of keeping all the windows open. And continuing on with the circuit. So it does get a little bit sameish, but you know what? Any high round strategy that you're going to do is going to be pretty repetitive past about round 20, I reckon, in almost any map. Now I do get 3 zombies coming from in front of me there, and I nearly get blocked off, as you can see, but I do improvise a little bit there and manage to survive, but that was a very close call. And I probably shouldn't be killing them here, but I'm pretty certain that I've got all the zombies spawned into the map at this point, so that's the reason that I'm doing it. Normally you wouldn't want to shoot any zombies down in the Thompson room. You only want to kill them in this spot here when you're running this particular strategy in Black Ops. Now you might think, well, if this strategy works in Black Ops, surely you can do it in World at War as well, right? But it doesn't work in World at War, I can tell you that now, and that's partly due to the fact that you have the sprinting zombies in World at War Verruckt, and they do tend to wreck this train, but the zombies spawn in differently as well, so that's one of the reasons. This map plays very, very differently between Black Ops and World at War. It's almost like an entirely different game between these two versions. Speaking of which, let's go check out round 18 in World at War and see where we're at there. I have still got the PPSH, and I'm just planting a couple of betties there next to that bench, because that way if I get trapped I can run around the back of the bench and hopefully it'll take out the zombies and clear it out for me if I need that. It's a bit of a backup plan there, and whip out the old Browning as you do. And this is obviously a really good weapon for camping with. It has a high capacity magazine, a lot of ammo, and it does a fair bit of damage as well. It's not as good as the MG though, but it's pretty good, and it's almost the ideal setup for camping at this early stage in World at War. And I get a nuke there, so that speeds us through round 17. Let's move on to round 18 as well here in World at War, because that was a pretty short round. And what I'm actually going to do, if I get desperate in this area, is buy the sawn-off shotgun off the wall. It's at the back of that room there near Speed Cola. Because that way I can just keep buying back ammo off the wall. But also the sawn-off shotgun has really good mobility. And there's another nuke there. But not quite the end of the round. So I'm going to swap out the PPSH because I'm out of ammo in it. And grab the sawn-off. So as I said, the sawn-off gives you really good mobility for running a zombie train. And you can just buy ammo off the wall back there in that room for it. Plus, it does a reasonable amount of damage at the level that we're at here in this game at the moment. Alright, I think there's only 1 or 2 zombies left, so I'm trying to create a crawler. Now in World at War, it is sometimes pretty difficult to create a crawler out of these zombies because of the fact that you got these sprinting zombies. And it's a little bit hard to time the grenade, but I'm just going to let this guy keep his legs for now while I hit the mystery box. And for some stupid reason I planted a bouncing Betty right next to the mystery box, and that was a pretty stupid move because now it's going to kill any crawler or zombie that I've kept alive so I can hit the mystery box. Oh well, these things happen. Now ideally I probably want to get something like the MG or the PPSH back maybe. The ray gun I'm a little bit wary of in World at War, in Verruckt, simply because you can kill yourself really easily with it due to the splash damage effect. But it looks like I'm not going to get much luck here from the mystery box, so what I'm going to do is finish off the last zombie here. I might have one more hit at the mystery box, and then we'll head back to the kitchen and resume. Actually, I get the PPSH there, so that's pretty sweet. I'll grab that and hit it again. I don't know what I was trying to get here at this point, but if it's there, you might as well hit it, right? Okay, so I'm back at the starting spot in Black Ops here for the circuit that we do at the STG, and then we're going to keep moving slowly, just keeping ahead of the zombies as they spawn in the windows. And this, as you've seen before, is a pretty solid strategy for getting through the high rounds in Zombies Verruckt in Black Ops. And following this strategy, you're going to be able to get to the high rounds in Verruckt no problems whatsoever. Even though it is a challenging map, it is a difficult map. There's a lot of tight areas, close quarters where you can get trapped. Provided you're following this loop of the map exactly as I'm showing it to you here, you'll be able to get to some high rounds in Verruckt without any difficulty in solo. Now, as I've shown you before, World at War is a totally different proposition. But in my opinion, World at War Verruckt is probably one of the most difficult zombies maps that we have, including the Black Ops versions, as well as the World at War versions of all the maps that we've got at this point. It tended to be a trend, I think, for Treyarch when they're making zombies maps, to make them easier and easier. Probably to make them more accessible to newer players. That might be how they're thinking about it, but in my opinion, they should at least make it, 1 or 2 more difficult maps for the more advanced zombies players. I'm just going to use the Winter's Howl here to take out the group. 3 or 4 shots at this point, and you'll be able to take them all down, and you get a nuke there. I probably could have waited a little bit on that nuke, but never mind. Getting back to what I was saying though, I really think Treyarch should introduce some more difficult maps, because, and maybe some smaller maps as well, because for the more challenging maps, you do come back to them again and again. And we've seen the popularity of No Man's Land. That was kind of almost like a mini game or a mini map in itself, and they even introduced a new leaderboard for it, which was a pretty good idea. But having a small, difficult map, I think that would have been something that they could have done, and they could have introduced maybe in the map pack that they brought out with Resurrection. Hopefully they do that in the future for the more advanced Zombies players to get something out of the game, because what's going to happen if you're going to have really easy maps and really big maps is you're going to just have a longer game of Zombies. And I mean, when you're talking 5, 6, 7 hour games of Zombies, it does get very repetitive, and it does get very sameish, very time consuming. I think it would be good if you had a fast, intense, difficult game of Zombies instead. I mean, Noctur and Toten, a map of that size with very limited traps and very limited perks, I think, but a new map would be really, really fun and good to see if Treyarch can introduce something like that further down the line with Black Ops 2 or whatever they're going to do in the future. When they bring back Zombies, as I'm sure they will. Alright, so at this point you're seeing the strategy almost in the final stage of development, if you like. And I'm just using regular weapons here, but they will be replaced later on by the trap that's in this area as well. And that will be the final ultimate version of this strategy for high rounds that you'll get to see a few rounds further on from this. But we are getting towards the end of round 19 here. I think there's only a couple of zombies left. There's not even a full wave left at this point. So I might just group them up in this area here, and we'll take them down and move into round 20. Actually, there's only 2 zombies left, so I won't even need to run a train here. I'm just going to take them out with the Thompson. And this guy is the last guy. So I'll move up to my starting position ready for round 20 in Black Ops, and we'll take this guy down. Now the reason I've got the Thompson is basically to build up points, and that'll be important later on for when we're using the traps regularly. Okay, so moving into round 20 here now, let's go across to World at War once again. And basically hanging out here in this kitchen area as per normal. And I've got the MP40 at this point because I ran out of ammo in the PPSH that I got before. Well, there's max ammo there, could have used that earlier, but never mind. Now my secondary weapon is the MG, so I've finally got the MG, and this weapon is pretty much the ideal camping weapon. Now I have got double tap as well, and speed cola, so this thing is an absolute beast in terms of rate of fire, and it also has a really quick reload on it compared to the Browning. But we're probably going to get overwhelmed now at round 20 at some point, so I'm going to be able to hopefully run a train in this room at the back here near speed cola if I need to. But we'll see how we go. I might be able to take out most of the zombies using the MG. And I think there's only a couple of zombies left here, and we get an insta-kill. So that was a pretty quick round, especially compared to Black Ops. Just got a last struggler here, and that is round 20 done in World at War, but we'll head across to Black Ops for round 21. Now, at this point in the game, it's probably worth mentioning that I haven't actually managed to pick up monkeys from the box, and monkeys are obviously pretty much required equipment for co-op zombies, but in solo they're really not going to be too much use to me unless I see something like a nuke power up that I want to get, and I need to protect myself from the zombies in order to get it. So it's no big deal that I haven't got monkeys, and I'm just running this loop here coming back to the bathroom area. But instead of taking them down there, what I'm going to do is group up the whole group of zombies, and in this second loop that I'm doing at this point in the game, this is the loop where you want to be able to compress the zombie train into one tight little group of zombies, rather than having them all strung out with stragglers way back in a long zombie train. So that's why I'm doing these loops around this room here, and then when I get down to the Thompson room, I'm going to be running like a zigzag route that I follow around this room as well. So you just have to be a little bit careful doing this, but it's not too bad. And then we'll get all the zombies grouped up. I usually run a complete circle here at the end, and we've got them all in a nice compact group. So that'll make it easier to take them all down and to hit them all when I'm using the Winter's Howl up top here. Now, talking of the Winter's Howl, the one thing that you've got to watch out for is in the later rounds, there's some zombies at the back of that zombie train, even if you've compacted them the way that I've done there, they're not going to be completely killed or shattered. What's going to happen is they're going to get affected by the Winter's Howl, and they're going to slow right down and turn into super slow zombies. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you've used the Winter's Howl before yourself. And that is going to cause all sorts of problems, because once you get back up top there, you're going to have the zombie train coming behind you, and there's going to be maybe 2 or 3 zombies slowly shambling along because they've been affected by that Winter's Howl. So that is not a situation that you want to have happening later on. So at that point, when that starts happening, I'm going to stop using the Winter's Howl, and we're going to just go back to using, or start using, the traps to kill the zombies instead. But it's a quick way to kill the zombies and to build up your points at these earlier stages where it's useful. As far as wonder weapons go, I really don't like the Winter's Howl. It's one of my least favorite wonder weapons because it's not a one-hit kill at any round like some of them are, like the Thunder Gun, which is an awesome weapon. It does lose its power. It's not very effective, and you have to go through a lot of ammo in it as well in later rounds for it to do anything. So it's a bit of a novelty weapon, and it's not that useful as far as actually killing zombies in higher rounds goes. Now, when the Black Ops version of these classic maps came out, a lot of people were thinking, well, maybe there's going to be some new Easter eggs or something different about these maps that we can look forward to. And I think that would have been a pretty good touch if they'd put in some major Easter eggs into, Nocturne or something like that. Would have been pretty cool. There are some differences and some little tiny Easter eggs that they put in, but they were really not that impressive or huge or anything like that. And in Verruckt, one thing that's different is that they've added a musical radio Easter egg to this map. I'm not going to show you in this video, but it's basically at the end of the second electroshock defense trap, where we'll be running past in a moment. If you go to the end of that balcony and look through into the room there, you'll see a little radio. And if you shoot the radio, it will play basically the musical playlist exactly like the radio in Nocturne Toten. So yeah, that's a little bit different. And as we said, they replaced the Springfield with the Car 98K, took out the sprinting zombies from Black Ops, and put in the Winter's Howl and obviously all of the Cold War style weaponry instead of the World at War weaponry. But apart from that, it's very, very similar. The spawn system is different. Obviously, you're getting more than 24 zombies per round as well, and that is really the main thing that makes this map quite a bit different to play from the World at War version. And this is the last group of zombies in the round, so we'll take them out here. And I hope you enjoyed part 3, guys. Part 4 will follow shortly, but for now, it is S1ippery Jim out. Thanks for watching.